Thank you. That's a very important question to answer because I know there is confusion, certainly talking to our American colleagues who have one association covering all aspects of ophthalmology in the US. In Europe it's a bit more complicated. Each society has evolved over time slightly separately. So the UEMS, or Union Européenne de Médecins Spécialistes, is the official European Union body in charge of the politics of ophthalmology in Europe. Recognition of diplomas, right to work in different countries, mobility, etc. And it has a section for each specialty in medicine. So I'm currently involved with the UEMS section of ophthalmology. Each section has a board, and the European Board of Ophthalmology, in effect a working party of the UEMS section, is in charge of the academic part. So the European Board has charge of the exam, which is held every year in Paris. It is in charge of the CMEs, it gives grants, and it recognizes departments across Europe for training, the so-called Residency Review Committee. You will have noticed that those two do not have any role in actual education. And that's where the SOE role comes as a very important part of this setup. The SOE organizes the Congress every 2 years, but throughout the 2 years it is helping mainly the young ophthalmologists by supporting the YO SOE. It also has, in the last few years, been in charge of the European Leadership Development Program, which has been great. But we all are aware that education and training does not stop, and it's an ongoing process. So the Congress and its teaching and the other activities of the SOE, like supporting lectures at each national society meeting, is certainly part of the continued education we all need for ensuring that ophthalmology is delivered at a high level and equally so all across Europe. The main development has certainly been in the European Leadership Development Program, which has proved to be a great success. And if I may use this opportunity to boast and say that we've just heard that the King of Jordan has awarded a medal to the recent Jordanian member who went through that program, and it was specifically for the work she's done back in Jordan, having been through the program, and she felt that this had helped her a lot achieve what she got recognition for and got a medal from the King. And it is important to realize that this is something that is over a 2-year period a great help for ophthalmologists who aspire to become leaders in the field. Well, the world of ophthalmology, but also the world of business, is changing considerably. And there are a lot of new regulations and not so new regulations of pharma, which means that we have to rethink about the way those congresses are supported. There is no doubt about the importance of those congresses. I personally find it extremely helpful to come to a congress where I can listen to matters and new developments in areas other than my own little field of specialty. I think it is crucial that we all continue to develop our knowledge about all aspects of ophthalmology, and that's the ideal kind of meeting for this sort of development. I think we have to continue to see ways of providing what is needed and providing new ways of delivering it and new ways of funding it. And that is all a challenge that I very much look forward to. It follows from what I explained earlier about the structure of ophthalmology in Europe. Having been involved with the European Board of Ophthalmology, I was in charge in 2011-2012, and I'm now in charge of the UEMS. I think having the opportunity to be closely involved with the SOE, in my opinion, is an ideal time to ensure that those different societies and bodies which actually complement each other work closely together and collaborate as much as possible. I think the message for the young ophthalmologists is very clear. They are the future, and the future is bright, and everyone is entirely in agreement that times have changed. Young ophthalmologists have to take charge of what they need, what their requirements are, and guide the strategy for the future. And the SOE has been a very important platform for them to do so. And they can, through SOE-YO, decide a lot about how those congresses will be run, how ophthalmology in Europe is being delivered, and as I mentioned earlier, the EU LDP, or the Leadership Development Programme, is also a great opportunity for them to be aware of. And finally, I can just assure them that the work that has been done by my predecessors, which has been fantastic, is the way we hope and intend to continue to proceed as far as the SOE is concerned.